Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this day that you've given us. We thank you for the opportunities that you give us. Lord, be with us as we do the business of the city. Guide and direct our path. Do everything we do. We lift your name up high. And everyone says, Amen. Amen.
Okay, very good. I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda. However, I want to make sure no changes are made.
No changes, Mayor.
Okay, no changes to the agenda. Need a motion and a second to approve.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion by Councilmember Olvera, second by Councilmember Espinoza. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
and Givens.
Yes. Sorry, writing this down. Very good. Moving on to our public comment time. Public comment time is for anyone wishing to speak on any item included on the agenda or any other matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes. We ask you to come to the podium, speak your name loud and clear, and your address for the record. Public comment time is open. Okay, no public comment, no online. Very good. Public comment time is closed. Do some council announcements and reports. Councilmember Espinoza.
I only have one. On the 29th, I attended an oath of office for Miranda Ramirez for the LLC interim position. That's all I have.
Mr. Rivera.
I don't have anything to report.
I thought you guys forgot about me. I'm way out here in the remote area.
Gosh.
I'm just kidding. The only thing I have to report was, we did have a mural, ad hoc committee with, Dr. Fran and, for the library. And, I don't have a picture of the drawing, but I believe it's gonna be coming in our next council meeting and, Mayor Pro Temp, Proud and I, what we saw, we all agreed it was gonna be something really nice at the library. So I just can't wait till they bring it up before all of us and for us to approve of it. And, all right, that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On with the, we did have the oath of office. We had a special city council meeting last week as well. So we're just trying to continue our conduct and doing business in the right manner. I know we're getting ready for league, so I'm hoping everyone's set up and ready to go. We are a couple weeks out for that. Some great things are coming for the league. I don't know if I can say it yet, so I'm going to leave it alone, but there'll definitely be a moment that everyone gets to share in that. And again, a big congratulations to what you guys have accomplished, Mr. Franz. With that said, we will now move on to consent calendar. Tonight on consent calendar, we have 17 items. I will try to read these very briefly. You can find these items listed on the agenda packet if you would like more details. Item number 1 is to approve the general checks. Item number 2 is to approve payroll. Item number 3 is to approve overtime report. Item number 4 is to approve minutes. Item number 5 is to accept the treasurer's report for July of 2023. Item number 6 is to approve construction plans and specifications for the Stringham Park Site Amenities Improvement Project and release for bid. Item number 7 is to approve construction plans and specifications for the Shafter Aquatic Center Pool Improvement Project and authorize release set of formal bids. Number 8, approve the agreement for the completion of public improvements with Balfans Homes for track 6490-1. Number 9, accept 3 separate proposals from heating, ventilation, and air conditioning service companies to provide routine maintenance work at the public facilities owned by the city, and approve 1 said proposal submitted by MCore Services valued at $25,000 for the first year. Number 10, authorize the Public Works Director to contract with Hector's Plumbing Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $15,000 for sewer repairs at Kirschman Park. Number 11, approve the cancellation of the regularly, wow, that was rough, scheduled city council meeting of September 19th, 2023. Number 12, ratify and adopt the side letter agreement with Shafter Police Officers Association, SPOA. Number 13, approve the revised cooperation agreement and adopt resolution 2938. Number 14, repeal resolution 2640 and adopt resolution number 2939. The resolution of the City Council of the City of Shafter establishing a policy governing reimbursements for actual and necessary expenses incurred for city-related business. Number 15, adopt resolution 2940, approving and adopting the Shafter transit system for 2023. And number 16, adopt resolution 2941, adopting the 2023 City of Shafter Zero Emission Bus Rollout Plan. Lastly, but not least, number 17, authorize the city manager or finance director to approve an agreement with Invoice Cloud Inc. to replace the current utility bills online payments solution. Questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, I'm looking for a motion for approval.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Councilmember Alvarado, a second by Councilmember Olvera. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
and Given.
Yes. After screaming so much at the Shafter BHS game, I think it's getting kind of hard to talk. But we won. Thank you. If anyone's keeping record, that's 1-0. Just wanted to say that out loud. 1-0 Shafter versus Bakersfield. We got this. Okay, moving on to management reports. Tonight on management report, there are 4 items. Number 1 is the authorized release of request for qualifications for the hotel developer to provide professional direction for hotels and other related commercial projects. City manager?
Surely, Mayor and Council, I'm gonna have our Economic Development Coordinator make this presentation. It is a follow-up from the last meeting's report out on the feasibility study for potential hotel opportunities. So, Bob?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the Shafter City Council. As you recall, and we've said before, our Economic Development Ad Hoc Committee learned at the convention in Las Vegas that Shafter has the potential for economic growth in multiple lines of retail business, including the hotel industry. So the hotel demand analysis that Cosmont provided us did confirm the need for additional hotels in our area that include Shafter, Bakersfield, and Delano over the next decade. Our economic developments can certainly be accelerated by hiring a hotel developer to attract hotels to Shafter as opposed to some of the other areas. Besides offering city-owned properties as potential sites, the developer could also make connections with private property owners with sites in Shafter deemed to be attractive for hotels. The ad hoc committee did recommend the release of this request for qualifications for a hotel developer because city governments are not typically experienced in the business of real estate and project development. This will give us credibility out in the business world, as well as energize our efforts here to expand our economic development. Upon your approval of the city manager to release the request for qualifications, staff will forward this to the Cosmont Company tomorrow, and it will be released to a number of developers, brokers, other interested parties who will have approximately 4 weeks to respond with their interest, and then the process can begin working with Cosmont to screen which developer we would like to contract with. That's basically what we're looking at tonight and asking you to do, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, I will just not clarify, but make known. So the reason, and thank you, Bob, for doing this. From an ad hoc committee, we've really gotten excited for what's available for Shafter. I know I've had questions. Councilmember Espinoza's had questions about this. It's not something that someone brought it up. It's about money. It's not about money. It's about opportunity. It's about destination. It's about giving opportunity for the sports complex, for the business areas to be able to grow, to host things and do different events throughout the year. It's the opportunity that we would have to see increases in commercial property, whether it's retail or food. It just gives Shafter a different outlook on what we're doing right now. Money's great, and we appreciate the money aspect of it, which is obviously why you look at things, but it goes beyond just that. So I don't want everyone to think this is a one-stop shop and we're doing it because there's a necessity for revenue, but it's more of opportunity and destination before it becomes revenue. And I don't think I've said anything wrong there. Looking at both of you on that. No, you're part of the ad hoc. Okay, so I wanted to make sure we made that known. So we're excited for this because knowing what we know today, seeing what we see, this is beyond hotels. This really dives right into retail and fast food restaurants, just kind of giving something more for the families. We see them wanting that when we do the First Fridays. It's kind of an indicator that people are wanting to try to do something new, to get creative in what we have. So very, very excited for this. Anyway, I made my statement. If no other questions or comments. Yeah, absolutely. I will looking for a motion and a second for item number 1, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Council Member Alvarado and a second by Council Member Espinoza. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
and Givens.
Yes. Mr. Meadows, thank you very, 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 very much. All right, item number 2 is authorize the purchase of water meters and, oh, I am not going to say that word correctly. Appurtenant? I'm gonna let you say that, for a total cost of $504,976.65. I don't stumble on words very often, but that one got me. What is it?
It's basically fittings or miscellaneous service fittings.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Fancy term.
I know, I should have just said fittings, water meters and fittings. Thank you, City Manager.
Yeah, certainly, Mayor and Council. This is part of an ongoing project the Department of Public Works has been working on for several years. And so our Deputy Public Works Director of Operations, Marcos Torres, will make the presentation. Marcos.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. As you are aware, the city has been proactive in installing water meters throughout its service area prior to the state mandate deadline of January 1st, 2025. To date, approximately 80% of all the customers have a water meter. Due to material shortages during the recent water meter installation projects, Public Works requested quotes for water meters and fittings to purchase in advance of our next phase of installations. 2 bids were submitted for service line fittings. The lowest confirmed bid was submitted by Core and Main Company for a total bid price of $185,944.36. Separately, Public Works requested a quote from Badger Meter for 951 residential water meters for a total cost of $319,032.29. Badger Meter is currently the city's preferred water meter of choice and works best with our advanced metering infrastructure currently in place. The city's capital improvement program project WA 00017 has enough funding to cover the requested purchases without any additional funds. Upon approval of the council tonight, staff will place an order for the water meters and service fittings to avoid such delays as seen in previous projects. So the next phase, the next installation phase is currently tentatively scheduled for first quarter of 2024. So it's important to note that with this purchase, we will be 100% compliance and reach the 2025 deadline.
Good.
So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is that end of calendar year 2025 or beginning of calendar year
So
2025?
basically, we have all of 24 to get them in.
Very good, very good. And this gets us up to date for
Yep.
that. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, questions, comments, concerns, council? If hearing none, I'm looking for a motion in a second, please.
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Olvera, a second by Councilmember Espinoza. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
and Givens.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Okay, moving on to item number 3, the adoption of urgency ordinance 749, approving and adopting execution of a 4th amendment to the development agreement with Suburban Land Reserve Incorporated, 7 Standard Ranch Investors, LLC, and Lennar Homes of California, LLC.
Sorry, Mayor and Council, this is an item you've probably seen it in previous meetings and not past months, but probably going as far back as last year. This is an ongoing negotiations we've been doing with this group of developers for the 7 Standard Corridor related to development agreement. And with that, our planning manager, Steve Esselman, will make the presentation. Steve?
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council. Yeah, this is the 4th amendment to the development agreement for Mission Lakes. Like the previous 3 amendments, it is just simply a change in the expiration date for the development agreement. to give enough time for the city and the developers to negotiate a new development agreement. The reason for the delay has been that we are still developing the impact fees that would be incorporated into a revised or new development agreement for the Mission Lakes area. As you know, Mission Lakes is one of the specific plan areas off of 7th Standard, west of both Gossamer Grove and Marcona Preserve specific plan areas. Currently, the third amendment is set to expire October 22nd of this year. The request for the fourth amendment is simply to change that expiration date and push it back 6 more months so that we have time to negotiate with the developers. And so the expiration date would be April 22nd of 2024. And with that, the recommendation is to approve and adopt the ordinance that allows for the fourth amendment of the development agreement for Mission Lakes. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Very good. Questions, comments, concerns, council? Otherwise, I'm looking for a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Councilmember Espinoza, a second by Councilmember Olvera. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yeah.
and Gibbon.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Last on our management reports is council authorization to add 2 service crew member 1 and 2 positions in the Public Works Department.
Certainly, Mayor and Council, this is coming through the city manager's office of the request because it involves basically a budget amendment and authorization of 2 new positions for the Public Works Department. As you are aware, the service demand out in the city continues to grow, and we've had instances in the past related to graffiti, illegal dumping, and then now with the SB 1383 compliance, we find that we have a need to continue providing services with a dedicated position to address those 3 areas. So one of the positions we're proposing to add in the Public Works field operations is a dedicated position to focus on graffiti, illegal dumping, and the SB 1383 compliance issues. The SB 1383 is a mandate from the state that we have to comply, and that's the waste diversion and now with the organics and whatnot, and we have converted over to curbside service. So this position would be working with American Refuse. Part of it would be initially the education component and the outreach to the community, make sure people understand what the compliance is of what trash goes in what, food product goes in waste, and on and so forth. And the other function is illegal dumping. Also, if you recall, the county passed a countywide fee for illegal dumping, and of which the cities receive a certain amount based on miles for each jurisdiction. Annually, the city receives approximately $115,000 for illegal dumping. And that's it for the city to use that at its discretion to address illegal dumping in our alleys, city streets within our jurisdiction. The other was related to graffiti. That comes and goes in waves, and sometimes that's gang related. Sometimes it's just kids being kids and doing graffiti, spray painting up private property on public property. And one of the keys with that we want to focus on is to be able to take down graffiti immediately and not leave it up. It creates a blight. It's eyesore. And so we want to be able to have a dedicated person to be able to address those 3 areas. How we propose to pay for that position is through 3 different sources. The SB 1383 compliance would come from some of the refuse fees that we bill and we collect. We took that into account when we did the fee adjustment. Also, the illegal dumping, the $115,000 that we receive annually, a portion of that would be allocated. So 40% would come from refuse, 40% would come from the illegal dumping. The remaining 20%, which is the graffiti component, that's a general fund expenditure because it addresses not only, it's not specific to any one area in the city, it's citywide. It's a parks, it's private property, whatever the case may be. Each position costs entry level position for a service crew member is approximately $110,000. So the breakdown is 20, 40, 40. So approximately 25, 30%, 30, $25,000 or $30,000 would come from the general fund. The others would be split from, like I said, the illegal dumping that we funds that we receive from the county and from the refuse fees. The second position, as you're aware, I think most of you had an opportunity to attend the grand opening of the new park over at Gossamer Grove Community Park, larger park, restroom facilities, and we also have Flight Park out there that is operational, has been operational. What we're proposing is with the new park being open now, a larger park, we anticipate that will get a lot more use from the community. We're also going to be doing rentals and reservations of the certain spaces out there. So we want to be able to have a dedicated person to be able to be out there maintaining the facilities on a daily basis outside of just cutting the grass. This is actually someone that's going to be looking at the bathrooms, taking the trash on and so forth. This position would be paid 100% from the existing fees we collect through the Landscaping and Lighting Maintenance District, the LLMD. And so there's sufficient revenues being generated to be able to pay for this position 100%. So it's a zero impact to the general fund. We believe both these positions are critical. Without them, it would mean that we're having to pull existing staff from other workload and from other crews to be able to address this. And we wouldn't be as proactive because we would be reactive, responding to complaints, responding to, basically complaints from residents, businesses, whether it's graffiti, illegal dumping, trash issues, and especially out in Gossamer Grove, we have a brand new park. We'd hate for it to start deteriorating too quickly without not getting the necessary attention. So we have evaluated our current staffing needs and determined that this is the best option, is to hire these to authorize these two new positions so that we can go ahead and get the two new people on board so that we can immediately start addressing that. With regards to the graffiti, we have purchased the equipment. If you recall, we came to you, we purchased the trailer that contains the pressure washer along with the paint machine. And so we are equipped to be able to have the person hit the ground running. And so my recommendation is to go ahead and authorize both the positions and then also the budget amendment for the two positions available if you have any questions.
Council questions, comments, concerns?
Just yesterday I was on Veterans Park and right in front of Rodeo and Schneid, there's some graffiti there already on the wall. I don't know if it's been reported or not, but I'll make the official report now. So
We'll make a note of it.
so we need those two crews or those two gentlemen.
Questions, comments, concerns, anyone else? Okay, very good. With that, I'm looking for a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Alvarado, second by Councilmember Olvera. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Yes.
Olvera,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
and Gibbon.
Yes. Very good. That concludes our management report items for the evening. City manager comments and reports, sir.
Mayor, just want to let you know, we sent you an email that has the list of upcoming events. So if you could please take a look at that, make a note, put it on your calendar. Outside of that, nothing more from the city manager. However, I do have two department directors that will have an update. One is our Public Works Director, Mike James, and the other is our Education Director, David Franz, with an update on our plans participation at the lead conference during the exhibit portion of the conference. So Mike and then David.
Sure. Honorable Mayor, members of the Shafter City Council, I just wanted to use this opportunity, speaking on behalf of Public Works, to update you on North Shafter projects. Since your last meeting, the city was able to secure approximately $180,000 in state grant funding to use towards master planning street improvements at North Shafter through a sustainable transportation program. And this would focus on the local interior streets and would be used in addition to the $1 million that was secured in AB 617 funding to design and build street improvements focused on Highway 43 in the North Shafter area. So we're hoping that the new grant will enable us to do the local and Highway 43 design and engineering work concurrently, but we're waiting on the funding agreement for the new grant before we can make that determination. But either way, the design and engineering phase will likely take the rest of this fiscal year to complete, and allowing us to start construction, at least along Highway 43, as early as next fiscal year. So that concludes comments and reports for Public Works, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much for that.
Honorable Mayor, members of the Shafter City Council, as the mayor mentioned, the Education Department will have a presence, and the city will have a presence through the Education Department at the league conference in the exhibit section. As the city manager mentioned, this is something that we've been working on and thinking about. This is an opportunity for our city to really put a step foot forward. So we've been putting a lot of thought into creating an exhibit that will recreate the feeling of walking into a library at some level. So it's bright, it's colorful, it's informative, and hopefully it leaves people remembering the city of Shafter. And so I won't share a lot of details beyond that unless if you have questions, I'd be happy to address.
That's very exciting. Very exciting.
And I should also add, we will have 4 or 3 members of our staff and 1 member of the Bakersfield College library
nice.
staff who will be manning the booth throughout the exhibit time on the 20th and the 21st.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Congratulations again.
And likewise.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think council, you'll be proud of the display that they've come up with, and it's a very prestigious event of which we will be participating in. So we'll make sure to present the city well and showcase it. So
Love it.
with that, nothing further.
Okay, very good. We are going to move into closed session. We'll have to recess first. Tonight, we have one item on closed session, which is conference with legal counsel for an existing litigation for California Government Code Section 54956.9 subsection A. I need a motion to recess.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Rivera, second by Councilmember Espinoza. All those in favor with aye,
Aye.
same sign, oppose. Hearing none, we are in recess, 6:26. Okay, we are back from our closed session, and I'm going to look to our city attorney to lead us out. Sir?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, City Council recessed in the closed session. There was one item on the agenda. All members were present except for Councilmember Prout. The item was discussion of existing litigation in the Department of Tax and Fee Administration matter, the city's petitions of the city of Alameda versus Williams Sonoma and the city of Shafter. With respect to that item, the City Council heard an update regarding that case, and we have no reportable action.
Very good. Nothing else on the docket for the evening. I'm going to look for a motion in a second to close.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Olvera, second by Councilmember Espinoza. All those in favor with aye.
Aye.
Same sign opposed. Hearing none.